January 29th, 1945, 2:47 p.m., Holzheim, Belgium. First Sergeant Leonard Funk walks around the corner of a farmhouse and stops dead. 90 German soldiers are staring at him. Half of them are holding weapons. The other half are picking up rifles from a pile on the ground. 4 American GIs kneel in the snow with their hands behind their heads. These Germans were prisoners 20 minutes ago, 80 of them captured by Funk's company during the assault on this village. Now they are free, armed, and organizing to attack the Americans from the rear. A German officer steps forward. He shoves an MP-40 submachine gun into Funk's stomach and screams something in German. Funk doesn't speak German. Neither do any of the Americans. The officer screams again, louder, his face turning red. Funk looks at the 90 Germans. He looks at his 4 disarmed soldiers. He looks at the MP-40 pressed against his gut. And then he starts laughing. The German officer's face twists with confusion, then rage. He screams louder. Funk laughs harder. What happens next takes less than 60 seconds. 21 Germans will die, the rest will surrender, and Leonard Funk will earn the Medal of Honor for one of the most insane acts of combat in World War II, all because he couldn't stop laughing. Leonard Alfred Funk Jr. was born on August 27, 1916 in Braddock Township, Pennsylvania, a steel town of smokestacks and foundries lining the Monongahela River. Funk grew up fast. By the time he graduated high school in 1934, he was already taking care of his younger brother. The Great Depression was grinding through its 5th year. Jobs were scarce, and college was a fantasy. In June 1941, with war raging across Europe, Congress extended the draft. Funk's number came up. He reported to the induction center at Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. He was 24 years old, 5'5" and 140 pounds. The Army physical examiner likely looked at him and thought, clerk duty. They were wrong. Funk volunteered for the paratroopers. In 1941, American airborne forces barely existed. The concept was new, jumping out of perfectly good aircraft to land behind enemy lines, surrounded. It sounded like suicide to most soldiers, but the volunteers were a different breed. Airborne training is designed to break you. 5 weeks of running, jumping, climbing, and falling. It's brutal physical conditioning that washes out half the candidates. Then come the jump towers, then the aircraft. The first time you step out of a C-47 at 1,200 feet, every instinct screams to grab the doorframe. The wind tears at your face. Your parachute is just fabric, cord, and faith. Funk earned his jump wings and was assigned to Company C, 1st Battalion, 508th Paratrooper Regiment. In late 1943, they shipped to England to join the 82nd Airborne Division, the All-Americans. These were veterans of Sicily and Italy. They had already killed and watched friends die. Funk was the new guy. At 27, he was ancient by paratrooper standards. Most of his squad mates were barely 20, but Funk had something they didn't: maturity, steadiness, the kind of quiet competence that makes men follow you into hell. By D-Day, he was a squad leader. By Holzheim, he'd be leading the company. But first, he had to survive Normandy. June 6, 1944, 1:30 a.m., the C-47 Skytrain shudders as flak explodes around it. Funk is standing in the stick, 60 pounds of equipment strapped to his body, M1A1 Thompson, ammunition, grenades, rations. The aircraft is at 400 feet, too low for a safe jump, but the pilots can't climb. German tracers arc through the darkness like angry fireflies. The green light hits. Funk jumps. The prop blast hits him like a truck. Below him is occupied France. The operation is chaos from minute 1. Paratroopers are scattered across 50 miles of countryside. Funk lands hard, twisting his ankle on impact. It's badly sprained, maybe fractured. Every step is agony, but he gathers his chute, buries it, and starts moving. For 10 days, Funk leads a group of 18 lost paratroopers through German-held territory. He insists on walking point despite his injury, putting himself in the most dangerous position to protect his men. He brings every single one of them home alive. For this, he earns the Silver Star. Funk was just getting started. September 1944, Operation Market Garden, the largest airborne assault in history. While the British fight for their lives at Arnhem, Funk's unit is near Nijmegen. He spots something terrifying. 3 German 20mm anti-aircraft guns firing at incoming Allied gliders. If those guns keep firing, hundreds of men will die before they hit the ground. The position is dug in, manned by 20 German soldiers. Funk has only 2 men with him. Military doctrine says you need a 3-to-1 advantage to assault a position. Funk is outnumbered 7-to-1. He attacks anyway. Leading from the front, Funk and his 2-man patrol storm the German position, kill the security detachment, and neutralize all 3 gun crews. 20 Germans against 3 Americans. The guns go silent. The gliders land safely. For this, he earns the Distinguished Service Cross. Most soldiers who earn even one of these medals are heroes for life. Funk now has a Silver Star and a DSC, and he still isn't done. December 1944, the Battle of the Bulge. The Germans launch their last desperate offensive, crashing through the Ardennes. The weather is brutal. Snow, ice, temperatures dropping to 5 below zero. But the cold isn't the only enemy. News spreads of a massacre near Malmedy. An SS armored group captured 113 American artillery observers, rear echelon troops who had surrendered in good faith. They herded them into a field and opened fire with machine guns. 84 Americans were murdered, left to freeze in the snow. Before Malmedy, there were rules, unspoken but real. After Malmedy, the rules were gone. When Funk hears about the massacre, something hardens inside him. This wasn't combat, it was murder. Leonard Funk makes a decision. He will never surrender to the Germans, no matter the odds. That decision will determine his fate very soon. January 29th, 1945. The Allies are pushing back. Company C gets orders to capture the village of Holzheim. But there's a problem. The company is decimated. They don't have enough infantry. Funk, now the acting executive officer, walks into the headquarters tent. Inside are clerks, cooks, and supply personnel. "You're all infantry now," he tells them. "Grab your weapons." He forms a makeshift platoon of 30 men who have spent the war behind desks. They march 15 miles through waist-deep snow in a driving blizzard. When they reach Holzheim, Funk leads his makeshift clerk army into the assault. They clear house after house, capturing 30 prisoners without a single American casualty. They link up with another unit, bringing the total prisoner count to 80. Funk leaves 4 men to guard them in a farmyard and heads back out to finish the fight. He has no idea that a German patrol, wearing white winter capes that look exactly like American gear, is sneaking up behind him. The German patrol overwhelms the 4 guards and frees the 80 prisoners. Suddenly, 90 enemy soldiers are rearming. This is the moment Funk walks around the corner. The German officer screams. The gun is in Funk's stomach, and Funk laughs. It might have been a ruse to buy time, or maybe the sheer absurdity of the moment. The German officer, confused by this laughing American, hesitates. He screams louder. Funk laughs harder, bending over, shoulders shaking, shouting to his men, "I don't understand what he's saying." The officer is purple with rage. He expects begging, he gets cackling. Funk uses that confusion. Still chuckling, he slowly reaches for the Thompson slung over his shoulder, acting as if he is surrendering the weapon. The German relaxes slightly. Then, faster than thought, Funk swings the muzzle down and squeezes the trigger. The Thompson roars. The officer is cut in half before he hits the ground. Funk doesn't stop. He pivots, spraying an arc of .45 caliber lead across the nearest German soldiers. He empties the 30-round magazine in seconds. This is the critical moment. A reload takes 2 seconds, enough time to die. But Funk reloads in a heartbeat, muscle memory taking over. He screams at his men, "Peep up your weapons!" The 4 guards scramble for rifles. The Germans are in total chaos. Their officer is dead, and the laughing American is now a machine of destruction. run. Some shoot back, killing the soldier standing next to Funk, but Funk keeps moving and firing. In 60 seconds, it is over. 21 Germans lie dead. 24 are wounded. The rest throw down their weapons. Leonard Funk stands amidst the smoke and bodies, turns to his men, and says, "That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen." On September 5, 1945, at the White House, President Harry Truman placed the Medal of Honor around Leonard Funk's neck. Truman famously said, "I would rather have this medal than be President of the United States." Funk went home a legend. He was the most decorated paratrooper of World War II. But he didn't write a book. He didn't become a politician. He went back to Pennsylvania and worked for the Veterans Administration for 27 years, helping other soldiers get their benefits. He did the paperwork, the quiet work. When people asked about the laughing or the 90 Germans, he'd just shrug and say, "I did what I had to do." Leonard Funk died in 1992. He is buried at Arlington. Courage isn't about size or strength. Courage is what you do when there's a gun in your stomach, 90 men want you dead, and the only weapon you have left is a laugh.